Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're with me, Mike Spider Slayer, bringing you that all important comic book review so you, the readers out there, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And fans, today we're going to be talking about the long awaited conclusion of Forever Evil, issue number 7. That's right, fans. 2 months in the making. The series originally started, or the event originally started way back in October of last year. And now, after all these tie-ins and everything else that has to do with this event, it finally is concluding. This book is written by Jeff Johns, and the artwork here is done by David Finch. I thought his artwork throughout the event has been quite well. I think in other issues it shined more. I thought that this book actually had its good moments when he had opportunity to do it. But since there was a lot of panels in here, it seemed like they're trying to fit in a lot of story. It seemed where, like in this page, for instance, where the artwork kind of lagged and faces were disproportionate and things like that, especially right here with Captain Cold. So there was some artwork issues, but I think it was had to do because it was rushed. Um, so what did I think of this story? Was it all that it cracked out to be? Was it the best event that I ever read? I thought that this was much better than a lot of the Marvel events overall. I thought it was a solid ending. I'll just give you that for this at this moment. And but this particular issue had its issues. Now, if you're a Lex Luthor fan, in this particular book, you're gonna love this book because his character really shined here. Okay, so as we go through a little bit through the issue, we get to see that in the last issue, Lex Luthor was basically getting strangled by Batman because he thought he killed Dick, but little did we see is that Dick is not dead, and obviously we all know he's not dead at this particular point because we all know his series that is coming out in the future. So that was kind of already spoiled for us. So that kind of ruins that moment here in the beginning of the book. And would they really kill Dick? No, I don't think so. But as the issue continues, all of a sudden you get to see Cyborg come, and Cyborg comes in and he brings through a dismantled grid, and you're just like, okay, so he walks in through this door carrying this carcass or this body just to drop it on the floor and say, Grid is dead. I guess it's to bring readers up to speed that haven't read the tie-in issues, so that's why they showed that there. And they gave him, there was a little insight in the issue about how he came back, how he was brought back, and things of that sort. So interesting there. And then you get to see Lex Luthor here shake Batman's hand. They have this particular moment, but Lex Luthor steals the yellow ring, and you're kind of like, really, Batman? You didn't know that he kind of pickpocketed you? Pickpocketed you? I mean, come on, he's wearing this big bulky suit, and he took this ring from you. Really? So I thought that was kind of awkward too. Um, but once the issue started getting going, once you find out that Superwoman is portraying Ultraman with Alexander Luthor, that's when everything started, all the shit started hitting the fan. And you get to find out that Ultraman gets pissed off at him and they start doing battle against each other. And then all this battle erupts. It's all action packed from here. There's certain holes or plot holes in this book. If you haven't read this tie-in issues, kind of like where they had to free the Justice League through Firestorm. And that is all talked about in, I think it was one of the tie-in books, like Justice League of America or whatnot, or Argus. I don't know, one of the two. But same thing with the lasso. Like, how did they get, you know, Wonder Woman's lasso? Like, there's all those little loopholes in there that if you did not read those tie-ins, you're going to be kind of clueless there. But then you get to see, again, a whole bunch of battles erupt. You get to see Alexander Luthor battle um, uh, Lex Luthor, and since they have the same voice, you get to see Lex Luthor call out his name backwards, and he switches back to Alexander Luthor, and he winds up killing him. There was this one moment here in this issue where Alexander Luthor winds up uh, killing Bizarro, and you know, Captain Gold goes, "Come on, just leave him. He's just a monster." And you get to see that emotion from Lex Luthor in here, and he's like, "But it was my monster," and it made you feel sad for Lex because he truly really loved somebody or cared about something, and it's something that you really didn't see in previous issues. So this is what I mean when this is really a Lex Luthor type of issue, because again, you see him battle Alexander Luthor. He comes up with the master plan here, and you get to see him change him back and call his name backwards, the Mazas name. So those were some good elements there. He was the mastermind behind the sun being moved, using the um, solar guns to destroy his, to destroy Ultraman. I mean, there were so many things here. He squashes Atomica. So this really, again, became a Lex Luthor type of issue where the other characters kind of just got lost within the issue. Um, in the end, as everything wraps up, you find out that this is already leading up to a different event, and you get led to the anti-monitor. So as a reader, you're sitting there going, okay, we're already getting led up to, the anti-monitor, another major event that's going to happen here. So I kind of was like, geez, we're going through New 52, we're going through Batman Eternal, and with Future's End and all that stuff. It's kind of like, okay, interesting here that they're bringing them back. There's going to be another crisis, I guess, or whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, you know what? I think this was a good book, but not a great book. I just thought that it focused heavily, yes, on Lex Luthor. That's how it started. That's how it ended. But I just would have loved to see it come together a little bit more. It just seemed a lot of plot holes in here. Like Owlman disappears. Like how did he escape? Things like that. And I thought it was good. I thought I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. But again, it was just like just a lot of stuff missing, I thought. And I still have to read the tie-in book, so maybe that will complete it. But leading into another event already, it's kind of like, come on, man, I just got done with this. And being that we've been away from this for 2 months, it kind of took away that impact that I was looking for. Like you get done reading an issue and you're like, oh, I can't wait for that. And then a month later it comes out. We had to wait 2 months for this. And finally, I was like, finally here. And there was a lot of things that I did forget because this event went on for so long. So again, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. However, if you're a Lex Luthor fan, you're really going to like it, I think, because he was the character that shined through here. But you still got all these villains running around and stuff like that. And none of that stuff was addressed. So maybe they'll address that in the future. We'll see what happens here. But it wasn't a perfect issue. It was an okay, ending to it. Last page, you might be like, oh, that's cool, but it wasn't great, I thought. So again, 3.5 out of 5 stars. Guys, leave me your comments. Do you agree with me on this one? Uh, was this okay for you? Were you excited about the last page? Again, tell me those comments below. I'm literally interested in hearing what you guys have to say. So guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0, and into the next comic book review. This is Mike Spider signing off. Thanks for watching, fans. Take care. Bye.